Iranian state media reports its military launched a coastal cruise missile toward the U.S. aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. The Pentagon has not confirmed the launch. U.S. officials have signaled a de-escalation in tensions over the past 48 hours. There is a clear disconnect between America's diplomatic narrative and Tehran's assertion of absolute military dominance in the region. This map shows the Persian Gulf and Strait of Hormuz, a narrow choke point for U.S. naval assets securing shipping lanes. These transit routes pass directly next to Iranian territory, like the Tomb Islands, forcing vessels into the radius of Iran's coastal defenses. Before the reported launch, Iranian Navy commander Rear Admiral Shahram Irani stated the aircraft carrier was under strict surveillance and would be struck if it entered their missile range. This specific geography makes traditional U.S. naval projection vulnerable to asymmetric coastal defenses. Asymmetric defenses rely on numerous, cheaper weapons, like land-based anti-ship missiles, to counter a larger, more expensive conventional military force. U.S. President Donald Trump recently stepped back from a 48-hour ultimatum to strike Iranian power plants, stating on social media that both countries held very good and constructive conversations. Iran explicitly denies this. State broadcasters, citing informed sources in Tehran, maintain that no official communication or backdoor diplomacy has occurred between the two sides. Iranian military spokesperson Ibrahim Zulfikari publicly mocked U.S. internal divisions, questioning if Washington was negotiating with itself, and declared the era of American promises over. Washington and Tehran are operating in completely separate informational realities. This divergence significantly increases the risk of a regional miscalculation based on false diplomatic assumptions. The likely catalyst for the dropped U.S. ultimatum was a counter-threat. Iran warned that any attack on its tower plants would trigger reciprocal strikes on energy infrastructure across the entire Middle East. Iran's military leadership has outlined strict conditions. They assert that U.S. strategic power is now a defeat, military threats must be erased, and previous levels of regional energy investment and pricing will not return. This represents Tehran's new doctrine of stability through power. Regional order is dictated solely by the military capabilities of Iran's armed forces, rather than U.S. security guarantees. Tehran is publicly leveraging the vulnerability of global energy markets as a direct deterrent against U.S. military action. The immediate metrics to watch are the Pentagon's official assessment of the carrier strike claim and the subsequent reaction of global energy markets to these infrastructure threats.